So I am reading on the interwebs, primarily on X and on other places, that Trump is offering refugee status to white South African farmers. I'm going to give my 2 cents in about it. But first, I want to set the mood in a calm manner because I've been at least for me, I want to enhance my anger management. And I grew up Catholic, and this Wednesday was Ash Wednesday, and I wanted to play a little bit of a song to get me in the right mood to harness my anger in a productive manner. This song is called Mea Culpa. So I want people who are here now just to bear with me. This song helps me with my anger, and I am angry about the emotional rhetoric and the hyperbolic language surrounding this issue. I also have Joe with me, but first I shall play a song, and then we will get into the bread and butter of this issue, along with other issues that are attached with it.
Old man kneels down low, says these words real slow. Mea culpa, I know, fault I can't let go. May my errors show.
What are you doing? Why did you do that?
Old man kneels down low, says these words real slow. Mea culpa, I know, fault I can't let go. May my errors show, deeds I can't bestow. Grievous fault will grow, burden truth I owe. Mea culpa, mea maxima culpa. Through the tears I see you, take the blame with no pausing. Through my trials I tread, guilty thoughts in my head, prayers that I have said haunt me till I'm dead. May my fault ring clear, no defense to cheer. Grievous faults I bear, speaking truth sincere. Mea culpa, mea maxima culpa. Through the tears I see you, take the blame with no pausing. Guilty thoughts in my head, prayers that I have said hold me till I'm dead. May my fault ring clear, no defense to cheer. Grievous fault I bear, speaking true sincere. Mea culpa, mea maxima culpa. Through the tears I see you, take the blame with no pausing. Mea culpa, mea maxima culpa. Through the tears sense of cheer. Grievous fault I wear, speaking truth sincere. Yeah.
Right. So I am here with Joe. And what am I
That's
doing?
right. I'm here. And do we have anybody chatting? This is Transparency and Merit, by the way.
Yes. And I had my little insignia up, and it's not there anymore. Boo-hoo-hoo. And I can't even find it. It was there, and now it is gone. And did you take that off, Joey? Did you take off the? Because I had it in the background, and
No.
now I don't have it anymore, and I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
I'm not sure what you're talking about
Did you
either.
press any buttons?
No.
No, I don't know what happened then. It must have been me. But so, like I said, it seems that Donald Trump is considering refugee status for white South African farmers, highlighting a deteriorating conditions in South Africa. I mean, South Africa is just really gone downhill post-apartheid, a Marxist state where racial resentment permeates many Black residents' attitude. Viewed through a systems lens, why stop at farmers? Why not extend refugee status to all whites there? Biological systems stress balance and adaptation. When a system becomes hostile, forcing one to endure dysfunction while others thrive, it fails integrity. Why wouldn't we advise sorry, one moment here. We wouldn't advise staying in an abusive marriage where resentment festers. Why should whites in South Africa, trapped in a socio-political environment, signaling their expendability, be different? Joe, do you have a comment on what I just said?
Sorry about that. I'm curious if I'm not very schooled, only in your perspective, really, about when it comes to what's happening in South Africa. And I'm sure you're aware, but I wasn't sure. I actually cheated and asked AI, and they gave me a video, and it's kind of interesting. I didn't realize that in some circles, the South African persecution or white farmer persecution is a myth. Are you aware of that? And how do you kind of answer that?
Well, what they have said, by the way, is that the genocide is a myth, but the persecution is not. I mean, in my opinion, when you have stadiums of people singing about killing you, they have a song called "Kill the Boer," "Kill the White Farmer." When you have songs about murdering you in stadiums, that persecution is not a myth. That is a reality. And it's not every Black South African that feels that way, but enough feels that way where leaving would be intelligent. And basically, people either resist mistreatment, and if they cannot resist it, the intelligent thing to do is to flee. And I think that America is giving its shores is giving safe haven to an abused people, just as shelters give to abused spouses. They flee, and it's not that every white South African is like an abused husband, but enough are abused and are with the threat of abuse should leave. You should leave by nature. You should leave an abusive situation. Now, I'm going to continue. The Black African diaspora often builds its identity on resentment towards the European diaspora. A dynamic the establishment lets simmer unchecked. By 2020, this escalated. The system not only fails to curb this resentment, but blocks defense against resulting in stigmatization and abuse, especially online. Progressive anti-hate groups like the ADL wield influence, pushing corporations to enforce double standards, speech codes, and rules that disproportionately silence whites. I see this systematic breakdown, a principle, values, and complex systems to preserve Western values of fairness, reason, and equality. We must confront these asymmetries and dismantle false narratives. The issue worsens with cultural capture of nonprofit anti-hate groups. These progressive echo chambers rarely hold public Q&As, and I don't think the ADL has held a Q&A that is open to the public for years. The censorship unfolds in private, opaque settings, closed rooms, shielding their reason from challenge. A scientific approach demands transparency and adaptability. Likely view these groups as cult-like, rigid in their pursuit of control, not truth. Their method suppresses dissent under a moral guise, but it's about dominance. We reject these actors to maintain self-correcting, honest systems, akin to a regenerative process. Anything less risks collapsing the principles we uphold. Joey, do you have anything to add on what I just read, or did that make out?
Yeah, that's a little nuanced for my liking.
There we go. Now we have, is it minerals?
Minerals.
Minerals. Do you have anything to add what I've said? Are you familiar with what is going on in South Africa?
No, I'm not. I've been sitting here getting high.
Yeah, that's correct. Now you are in the hills of hellish Kentucky, if I'm not mistaken, or some hellhole in the South.
I'm in Minneapolis, Minnesota. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, I'm
But
I'm around that neck of the woods.
Yes. So you don't ever talk about the conditions that are happening in the world that are happening within the European diaspora.
What do you mean?
What do you mean? You don't get what I said?
You mean like stuff doing with Europe?
Yeah. Are people of European descent. And the African diaspora.
Well, I mean, I'm white, so I'm of European descent.
Me too. And yeah, the term European diaspora typically refers to the diaspora of Europeans people from their ancestral homeland to other parts of the world, primarily driven by exploration, colonization, economic opportunity, and political upheaval. And European people of European descent did leave because of political upheaval and persecution. America was partly started because of persecution and certain types of religion. But we all hold European heritage, and it
That's
seems
true.
like
We
it
do.
seems like there is a persecution going on in the European diaspora amongst the Anglosphere. That is wherever, from my understanding, that is wherever English is spoken. So countries like the UK, Ireland, are almost forbidden to even speak, even when they feel that they are being mistreated and treated unfairly, because other groups are given what is known as protected class status. And my question is, can we be protected from the protected class? Joey, do you have anything to add? Because I'm going to play us into a song real quick.
Oh God, I'd love that. Let's play a song.
And then we will go. And like I said, this issue has gotten me a little bit angry and upset because I
Nice. I hear that.
I can see why that pisses me off too.
Because I see a lot of hypocrisy going on. And I just did a thing for Ash Wednesday that was this Wednesday. I'm going to do another one. I like it. I know Joey hates it, but this one is
With that passion.
Stoic Calm, just a man.
Yes, play it.
Kind of
Oh God.
relating to Marcus Aurelius.
You're on mute for 2 minutes.
In the palace, shadows stand, Marcus with a thoughtful plan. Life is fleeting, moments spent, just a man. Pages filled with silent cries, wisdom in the ancient skies, eyes that see through countless lies, just a man. You're just a man under the sun, seeking peace before you're done. Rise each one with a gentle hand, life we sculpt from shifting sand. In the garden calm he roams, meditates on broken bones, legacy in humble tones, just a man. Victory and glorious cheers, haunted still by daily fears, washing sins with silent tears, just a man. You're just a man under the sun, seeking peace before you're done. Rise each one with a gentle hand, life we sculpt from shifting sand. Still by daily fears, washing sins with silent tears, just a man. You're just a man under the sun, seeking peace before you're done. Rise each morn with a gentle hand, life we sculpt from shifting sand.
I have to say it's growing on me ever so slightly, but I can sit through it, and it's not as bad as I initially thought.
It's better. I'll see what Mandy wrote in there, and I would be happy to help you 3M. You know, I've made some AI songs of myself here lately.
Yeah, we had a request from the chat room that you actually allow this collaboration to exist. I think it should happen.
Yeah.
Well, I'm thinking right now, I might play another song because I'm thinking of something to say. And what kind of song do I want to play? You know what? I think I'll play the Stabby McHugg song now. Did you read? Okay, let me take a look here. All right. So I think I'm going to play a song of Stabby McHugg's. Actually, I'm going to play a song called MAGA Civil War. This was during a time, by the way, when Elon and what the hell's his name? The Indian guy who was running for president wanted special kind of visas. I'm going to play this real quick, and then I will set into mode.
Elon's rockets reaching stars, Vivek's ideas changing bars, tech giants call for open doors. Who fights next in this grand tour? In the streets they shout and scream, dreams of silicon gleam and team. MAGA crowd holds up their signs, watch the battle, read the lines. Visas bound to bend and sway. Who gets in and who must stay? Protests weaving through the noise, echoes clash like shouting boys. In the streets they shout and scream, dreams of silicon gleam and team. MAGA crowd holds up their signs, watch the battle, read the lines. Who'll take the final stand, holding banners, sword in hand, changing tides within the night. Which way flows the future's light? In the streets they shout and scream, dreams of silicon gleam and team. MAGA crowd holds up their signs, watch the battle, read the lines.
All right. So The white farmers murdered, where farm killings have fueled global controversy since the end of apartheid. Thousands of farmers, mostly white, I believe, have been killed, with disputes and racial tensions. Others argue it's overhyped by right-wing narrative, as crime affects all South Africans either way. However, there are no songs singing "Kill the black farmer," it is "Kill the white farmer." In America, you decry criminal degenerates as heroes. Perhaps, George Floyd, whose 2020 death sparked global protests, are lionized despite complex past where cultural shifts seem to exercise lawlessness and degeneracy. So I wonder. I'm hearing a buzz sound. By the way, now Joey, did you like my song?
I'm looking forward to the next song. How's that?
I want to mention,
You're
and
getting there. You're getting there, 3M.
Yeah,
I
you
want
are.
to.
You're sitting there. I am all about this hero's journey of your songwriting.
Yes, well, I thank you for that. Resentment against whites, and some call it a spiritual poison, regardless of who it's aimed at. Anti-white sentiment exists both for those who harbor and those who react. The grooming gangs and white farmers, on this specific issue, like abuse of English girls by Muslim grooming gangs, I'll get into this later. Does anyone else have anything to add?
I have something to add, but it is not appropriate for the air. I will keep
All
it to
right.
myself.
Good
I
heavens.
will keep it to
It's-
myself.
Is late night radio. Brian, I do have a video. I don't know the angle, except that I think that you'd probably have a point of view on it. Can I play it?
Let me read this that I wrote a while ago. Egotism lies at the heart of what's been called black victimhood. It's turned into a mastery of pointing fingers, laying every failure at the feet of whites. The ego is a powerful narcotic. It hooks you deep, blinding you to truth. You don't shake that addiction until you hit rock bottom, until you're desperate enough to seek rehabilitation. In America, the black militant's vision is clouded by pride, that he can't even see past the mess dripping from his own resentment. I ask these folks, don't you know what real hunger feels like? Don't you know famine? When starvation gnaws at your gut? Any clear-eyed person can see the real deal here. Someone from a third world would trade every hardship they've got just to stand where you are. Like I said, ego is a strong drug. It keeps chasing illusions. Would you tell would you tell straight, tough love is the only way out? You got to walk away from the flop house of self-pity, step into something real, and lock the door behind you. There's no room for dope fiends dozing for their next fix to blame. Wake up, strip the ego bare, and face what's true. Any response to what I've read?
Yeah, sure. How about you, Knowles? Would you
I
like to
agree
answer
with you
that first?
100%.
I agree. I think there's definitely opportunities for that come up in life, and depending on where you're at, absolutely.
Yeah. I agree with 3M. I'm not going to say what's on my mind. It's not air appropriate and it's not commercially viable.
Self-censorship is the worst culture.
Sometimes though, and it's good. I'm not opening my mouth right now. I'll just say that there are some very strong words that come to mind.
Well, anger management is needed at this time. Anger is useful, but
This is an outlet. This is an outlet. You have open ears, and
we have open ears. But
it's a good.
Again, this is also, we are out to the open, and there are people that will not like what you say, and sometimes it is best.
I know. It's about YouTube and their monetization. If this was Twitter, I wouldn't give a fuck, and I'd just say it, and I'd get kicked off, and then I'd just set up another one. But fucking
ego thrives
on YouTube, they'll take your channel down.
Yeah, and that, well, I thank you for that, and then we've had our channel taken down a few times by a few individuals. Ego thrives on reaction. When you're angry, you're not really you. You're a puppet to whatever triggered you. It's like a drug. It feels good at the moment, giving you a rush of righteousness or strength.
That's true.
But it leaves you weaker, more dependent on the next fix. People prone to anger then can't be trusted, not because they're inherently bad,
That's true.
but because they're not fully in command of themselves. They're liable to lash.
You gotta control.
Go ahead. Yeah, and they're liable to lash out.
It's important to be able to control.
Yeah. Yeah. They are liable. Yeah, they are liable to lash out, rational bad choices, or drag others into their emotional mess. Your anger isn't your power. Prison. Connecting this to your previous and rage. The anti-racist left are the resentment against perceived injustice like grooming gangs or farm murders. Perhaps, like I'm thinking of, would likely see both sides as junkies to the same ego trip. Maybe I am in the same ego trip as those people. That is a perhaps thought of my mind. But I've often said you cannot unite with angry people. Those prone to anger are untrustworthy, as emotions cloud their judgment and disrupt peace needed for true connection. South Africa and progressive leadership cannot be trusted because it is built on resentment, and I think it is intrinsic in the lifeblood of the South African government and many of the South African people that are in control there. And the same with the progressive left. They are a hive mind, and they are an intrinsic hive mind of thought. And you know what, the only the only thing is, I cannot watch those videos. And someone did say the music is the best. And Mandy is saying, do not censor yourself. Express your words. May your words be your strength. And words can be your strength, but sometimes you have to express yourself in a better way. And being in control of your anger
A better way than what? And why are you drawing the standard for how others behave?
My issue is now I've been angry about this issue at times, and I have let that get the better of me. But I think if we stay, if people stay steadfast, and instead of reacting to their misbehavior,
Again, are you dictating what is bad behavior?
am I dictating what is bad behavior? I am observing by nature what is bad behavior and what is good behavior. I mean, do we not have, Joey, do we not have inherent in all of us the knowledge of good and bad behavior, or behavior that is harmful to the psyche and harmful to people by nature? Now,
I just don't know how you decipher what somebody is saying as really truly being connected to their true mental being. I'm not sure how you delineate. I don't know how you draw that conclusion. That's all I'm asking.
Well,
I have something that I can say that is productive,
okay.
and that is that this is genocide, and I think that we should handle them the same way that we did the Nazis.
I don't know if, I mean, again, the dialogue and the talking seems to be pre-Nazi-ish when you're talking about shooting them and murdering them.
I never said that.
Yeah. Oh, you said it's not, okay. Well,
Nice. That is a very complicated word on its surface.
I wanted to say about misbehavior and abusive behavior, egotism, and I don't know if the right word would be cluster B behavior, but I grew up in somewhat of an abusive household, and I was, there were times that I was bullied and mistreated by both adults and my peer group, and instinctually, I know abuse just as just like I know, rotten milk in the fridge and not to drink it. I know either to resist an abusive person by nature, and as I do what not to eat and what not to drink. My experiences, my life experiences, tell me that. And I consider myself an aware human being. And I know when groups are abusive and when they are being fake and using me for their fakery. And that the BLM protest for me was extremely performative. And I saw what I found to be rather histrionic behavior amongst many in the crowd, and they would speak a bunch of gobbledygook, a bunch of intellectual college gobbledygook, which I really felt was a level of abuse. And you cannot, I mean, and it was a cultural capture level of abuse. And the same, and this is going on throughout the West. This kind of talk and kind of behavior of privilege, or of that builds on, when you talk about white privilege, basically you're fomenting white resentment, and you are stigmatizing a group, and you can't even successfully resist it, because progressive anti-hate or anti-racist groups restrict what is to be said on the internet, which, by the way, today is the court of public opinion. And yeah, There are things you cannot say or do, because the first thing that they restricted on social media was hate speech, and hate speech primarily went in one direction. It was primarily focused against whites. White supremacy is a stigmatization, and it's also based upon an assumption that you have inherent power, that you are born a Rockefeller or a Rothschild, that you have inherent power. And I think it is, to a degree, perhaps even rooted in Marxism. I guess they call it race Marxism, which they replace class struggle with race struggle. And the group that you are struggling against is whites, or if you want to say, people of European ancestry. And again, it feels like this kind of thing is promoted by the powers that be, are the I guess you would say the nonprofits, the anti-hate nonprofits are the ones who have dealt with the businesses and influence our major establishment corporations to restrict speech. I'm going to play a little bit of a song, another song here. I really enjoyed this song. This song is Judge Holden. It is from the book Blood Meridian, and it may be made into a movie, although I think it is too violent. So let's play that song, and then we might wrap it up, see what anyone else has to add to the conversation, because I am the one who is most bloviating.
In the silent desert where shadows creep, there's a man of chaos who never sleeps. With eyes like fire and a heart of stone, Judge Holden walks where fear is sown. He's the arbiter of life and death, no soul escapes his chilling breath. With a silver judge's gavel in hand, he reigns supreme in this savage land. Oh, Judge Holden, he's the lawless king. His name alone makes the brave heart sting. With a wicked grin and an iron fist, in the dust of time he will persist. Men whisper tales of his cruel fate, of blood and bones and endless hate. In the book of darkness he's the ink, a shadow god on the edge's brink. Round campfires glow with trembling might, stories of terror in the endless night. Mysterious figure clad in dread, Judge Holden's legend far and spread. Oh, Judge Holden, he's the lawless king. His name alone makes the brave heart sting. With a wicked grin and an iron fist, in the dust of time he will persist. Judge Holden, he's the lawless king. His name alone makes the brave heart sting. With a wicked grin and an iron fist, in the dust of time he will persist. Men whisper tales of his cruel fate, of blood and bones and endless hate. In the book of darkness he's the ink, a shadow god on the edge's brink.
Okay, I have sent you, Brian. Wow. What is happening?
That goes
Hey,
on. No, I cannot. I know you have sent that to me, but I have to download that something like that.
No. Go in the media in the private chat.
I know it's in the private chat, but I still have to I understand that, but I got what you sent me, but I still have to download something like that and put it in my chat thing.
No, it's no, you don't. You just click on it. It's a link.
If I click on it, but I cannot show it on my on this channel. I cannot show it.
You don't need to show it. It's just the audio you're really worried about.
All right, we'll audio it. Okay.
Brian, I have one thing to say about the subject.
Finally.
Yeah. Well, and that is that I'm not going to say it on the air. And
please don't.
Because I said it for 5 years on Spreaker.
Yeah, don't do that.
I'm not the type of person.
All right, I'm gonna. All right, okay. First of all,
that is for someone like Mr. Midnight Movie. I'm not the person to get that message across, and it's
I'm not aware of what you're talking about. Can you play the video?
All right.
Al Jazeera podcast. Today, correcting the record on Trump's South Africa misinformation.
They're taking away land, they're confiscating land, and actually they're doing things that are perhaps far worse than that.
Elon Musk, Donald Trump, and the persistent myth of persecuted white farmers in South Africa. I'm Kevin Hurton, and this is The Take.
My name is Debohang Diepolok. I am in Johannesburg. I am
Now, we cannot see the picture of this woman, but she looks like a maniac. A complete cluster B maniac. Okay? A maniac. You got to flee. You know, if this woman were in the room, I'd want to leave the room or kick her out. Either one. I don't want to be in the same room with this buffoon.
A feminist economist and academic. I teach
Vomit.
Research and I write extensively.
Okay, this woman seems like a cluster B liar, a scumbag of scumbags, and I thought I wouldn't get angry, but looking at this woman, I see the biggest, vilest scumbag of all time. And I would want to verbally just really give someone the what for with every ounce of scumbag and C words that I could imagine. I won't do this now, but I'm trying to put my stoic calm here. But this woman infuriates me, and I would rather cut my testicles off and wear them as earrings than deal with a person like this for too long. This is why white South Africans must flee. And these people, if they are in Europe, they must be expelled, are not have any power. These individuals are complete egomaniacs.
And you're catching me from Johannesburg. It's hot, it's sunny. It has its own challenges with load shedding, with Wi-Fi shedding, but it's where I call home for now.
So, Lebohang.
What she calls home for now, because when things get bad, she'll have the beggar's hand right to Europe. The iron fist that she has now will come to the beggar's hand, and there are plenty of people of European descent that will give her refuge, her abuse refuge. What nonsense. When are we going to stand? When are the elites going to stand up to the for the poorer people in the UK and Ireland and allowing for abusive, egocentric, white resenting people into their lands? It's really vile.
I want to start with few statistics that might provide some useful context to this discussion. The first one is, in South Africa, around 70% of farmland is still owned by white South Africans, yet they make up just 7% of the population. Think about that. 70% of the land owned by 7% of the population. And the other statistic is that South Africa has the worst inequality in the entire world. So is there a direct connection between these two thoughts? Can you trace many of South Africa's current problems back to just who owns the land? Because that's such a big...
Now, people say that, I mentioned that South Africa is going the way of Zimbabwe, and Zimbabwe turned into a third world hellhole. Again, the iron fist was pounded into the beggar's hand, and many of these loudmouths ended up in the UK and in America. How disgusting for people that we allow people who resent us to come into our nation. We're allowing abusers to come around us. Unbelievable.
Part of wealth generation, correct?
Absolutely. So, for example, how much cattle you have, how much livestock you have, how much. It's also to do with autonomy, the ability to feed yourself, and sovereignty over your own movement. Where now many people in agricultural spaces and in rural areas, African people, are viewed as trespassers.
First of all, when a white man comes and leases the farm, first of all, you must remove your cattle. All of them. He doesn't want the cattle. Nothing. All of them. So maybe it's the criteria they are using to remove all the black people on the farms.
And of course, this fiction that has also begun to take some currency of farm killings, and that these are predominantly white farms.
Now, I want to mention that this is Al Jazeera is a very skewed, often progressive network, and they often don't, like the ADL, they often do not debate.
Farmers being killed by African people, which is not true, and the statistics show again that there's a huge amount of danger of African people being killed in rural areas.
Yeah.
Being.
Now, I want to mention that. There's a lot of murder in Africa of blacks and of whites, and there is there's also a lot of rape. From my understanding, and we can't even say the word, I'll say the word grape, but from my understanding, it is the grape capital of the world. So let's continue. My stoic calm, again, America, we are being fed a diet of misinformation and delusion. And again, if you saw this woman's face, you would see the face of a deluded egotist, a victim-minded egotist.
Either mistaken for monkeys, being accused of stealing, and so on and so on.
So how did we get here? How, more than 30 years since the end of apartheid, do white South Africans still own this much of the country?
This white bald dude, he should move to South Africa and show us all in practice what a progressive leftist nation is all about. I'll give a hoot what you say. Show it to me in practice, buddy.
So we can trace it certainly to the moment of settler colonialism, the moment of invasion, the moment of displacement. So that
this is holding on to historical resentments, and it is being and the people being born into those places will be victimized by people who hold these resentments. White people need to be given refuge to both European to nations with large European populace, and we need to think very seriously about allowing these types of race Marxists into our nation. They are an albatross to decency and civility. They do not believe in objective reason. They want rule. They want conquest is their game, not loving. And they're coming to you with clenched fist. Let's continue.
Goes back to 1652. Jan van Riebeck, who and his band of merry men and some women who arrived from different places primarily the Netherlands, and then of course France, Germany, and a small smattering of British settlers as well. And of course, what this meant is not only the displacement of people from their own land, but also the displacement of people from their own aspirations, from their own sense of personhood. So the only relationship for many years, for over 150 years.
Again, with this thought process, I think the best thing to do for whites is to leave and to close the door behind them. And they need allies to shut the door behind them. Don't let them back in. And if other groups want to go there and live amongst them, please do so. Why live amongst me when you hate me?
That the settlers had with African people, the indigenous majority, was one of laborer. So if we take it back to the first settlement, which was in what is now called Cape Town, it was a slave state. It was a slave.
All right, I'm going to go, you know what? I'm going to play Douglas Murray. And he talks about South Africa. He's a little bit more diplomatic. And these people would never have Douglas Murray on. So let's play him.
They're gutting USAID, something that has alarmed the Democrats, the activist class, and even the Vatican. The Vatican claims this will cost millions of lives. But you wrote a piece for The Spectator arguing that this money has been going to essentially insane people who hate America, and that the UK and perhaps other Western democracies should follow America's lead here.
Absolutely, Rita. It's amazing, isn't it? I mean, everyone knows about government waste, and we often talk about it. But when someone comes along and actually tries to stop government waste, there are all of these howls. What Elon Musk and his Doge team found in USAID, and it's merely the surface of it, what we've actually read about.
Now, this is far more diplomatic. And again, the people that I played on Al Jazeera, these far leftists, they do not have discussions with these types of people because they will be made to look like jackasses and fools. They have conversations in their bubble. Actually, you know what? I'm going to play the Rubin Report because I think that's one that's a little bit better.
But for 30 years, if you look at every single metric, health, education, employment, the country has gone backwards. Every state-owned enterprise.
And again, this is what a resentment nation does. The nation of South Africa is a nation built upon resentment. Joey, do you have anything to add? Hello?
No. Keep going. I want to hear some more of this.
Okay.
This has been bankrupted. South African Airways used to be the best airline in Africa. Bankrupt. Eskom, Electricity Supply Commission. We don't have enough electricity. We have load shedding, which means 4, 5, 6 hours a day we have no electricity. The rail network's destroyed. The ANC has destroyed our country, and it is a racist, kleptocratic, and ineptocratic government.
And again, I want to point out that nations based on revolution, with the exception, I believe, of ours, do not fare well. Revolutionaries, are good at the revolution, but when it comes to running a country, they don't run a country. And the same thing with activists. They do not run a country.
Rob Herzog of South Africa, one of the beautiful things of coming to this conference is you meet people from all over the world. Everyone is going through their own experience kind of personally and politically in their own countries. South Africa suddenly has gotten on the American map a little bit in the last week or so. But before we get to that, maybe if you could just give me a kind of 1-minute bio on who you are, how you sort of got into public life, and then we can hit the issues.
Sure. I'm 64 years old. I'm 5th generation South African, and I was born into real wealth in South Africa. My grandfather founded a big mining industrial business, and I spent my education in South Africa I did university there, and I spent 2 years as an infantry officer in the South African Defense Force in the old days. Then I went to America, Goldman Sachs, Harvard Business School, and then I worked as Rupert Murdoch's right-hand man for 3 years in New York. And then went to Europe, wow, more corporate life, founded Marquis Jet Europe, sold it in NetJet, and did various entrepreneurial things, and failure, success. And in 2017, after 31 years overseas, I went back to South Africa. And in addition to business, I became an accidental activist, a capitalist activist. I made a speech 3.5 years ago that went viral, calling out the government. And once I survived "You're a racist" card, because a lot of...
And again, that is one of the main cards, and you cannot deal with people who are prone to anger and prone to resentment. They cannot be in charge.
Political people said, you may not like him, but he's not a racist. I have kept going, and I've become probably the only business person standing up and speaking out against the ANC government.
So talk to me about the ANC government and what has kind of put this now on the map from an American perspective, where South Africa is just not on the long list of countries that we talk about that often.
Well, I'm glad America's noticed. I really am, because we're on the edge of going into the abyss. The ANC, the Liberation ANC, in 1994 took control of the country, and they've been running the country with more than 50% of the vote for the last 30 years. And only last year in 2024, in May, did they drop below 50%, were forced to form, it's not even a coalition, it's a group of political parties that are that have no mission statement and are not doing very much. But the ANC is no longer in control. But for 30 years, if you look at every single metric, health, education, employment, the country has gone backwards. Every state-owned...
I must add again, this is when activists gain control. And that's what happened, by the way, with Biden. Biden had too many... I believe that Biden had too many activists pulling the strings. He was not the one in charge. He was too far gone, and leftist activists controlled. And the reason he lost is because the activist within his cabinet. Anyway, let's continue.
Enterprise has been bankrupted. South African Airways used to be the best airline in Africa, bankrupt. Eskom, Electricity Supply Commission. We don't have enough electricity. We have load shedding, which means 4, 5, 6 hours a day we have no electricity. The rail network's destroyed. The ANC has destroyed our country, and it is a racist, kleptocratic, and ineptocratic government.
And that is why whites should flee. And for the most part, unless they have skill, other groups should be able to come. But they'll find, like I said, if the whites leave, I think Indians will then be another group that they go to victimize. As they, by the way, in the 70s, Uganda expelled its South Asian population. Many of them came to America. Anyway, let's continue.
So let's talk about the racist part, because obviously that's still, unfortunately, the word of the day. It's a little hard, I think, from an American perspective, for people to realize that a government could truly govern I guess it's not that hard in some sense, but that could govern in an actual racist manner when it comes to who's getting what services and what land, et cetera, et cetera.
140 race-based laws.
And like I said, South Africa is dancing towards Zimbabwe, and America seems to be going the way, particularly in our big cities, the way of South Africa. Let's continue.
Laws in South Africa, all anti-white. And 8 days ago, Cyril Ramaphosa, our president, signed into law, and just hear these 3 words: expropriation without compensation. And this is just the straw that broke the camel's back. There's been endless laws, anti-white, boiling us like a frog in a bowl. And all I can say is thank you, America, and thank you, Donald Trump, for taking notice, because we are on the edge of the socialist abyss.
So how do you guys get out of this? Obviously, there's a complex racial history there.
And by the way, people claim that it's not genocide, and of course it's not genocide yet. But how often, or how, like, if this were a marriage and the husband was abusing the wife, beating her up physically, emotionally abusing her, would they downplay it and say, well, you know, he hasn't killed her. He hasn't murdered her yet. He's only beaten her up a few times, maybe a few like slaps occasionally, but he's really not that bad. And the beatings are not that severe. These people are enablers of abuse, by the way, in my opinion. And they are the same people that would enable a wife beater.
How do you reverse some of this? I mean, that's an awful lot of laws, and
I don't think we can internally. I mean, we have to wait till the 2029 national election, and I don't think our economy will survive. It requires some external dynamic to change it. And I think Donald Trump in America taking notice and coming in swinging with a baseball bat may be that dynamic we need.
So when you saw over the last couple of years in America wokeness infecting our systems, and suddenly we were focused on race, and we were putting it into it was this very people who said we were systemically racist that were putting racism into the system in a systemic way. It must have given you a little concern about the direction we're going, as much as that's now been rolled back.
Well, we've been infected in South Africa with the evil woke mind virus way more than in America. We've got it ×2.
Yeah, and that is what happens. That will be what happens when whites become, if and when whites become the minority, if we do not stand up for our cultural values. And I don't know how, I mean, and I think that we have to take a hard and stern stand against this abuse. And the punishment for standing up for the abuse is very strong. And again, post-Floyd, post-pandemic, it got on steroids. And groups like the ADL have helped foment this abuse. They are actually akin to people who help abusive spouses. Let's continue.
And there's no momentum in South Africa to reverse it. In fact, it's quite the opposite. So it's been like a miracle that Trump got elected and he's making these decisions to reverse this wokeness, because, you know, South Africa needs a big wake-up call, and it isn't going to come internally.
What were those 3 words? It was expropriation
without compensation.
So this is in essence they're taking farms.
Well, they can.
Yeah.
So they haven't implemented it yet. It's been signed into law.
Yeah.
And it's not just farmland, it's property. They can take the watch off my arm and they barely need to justify it. I mean, I liken it to having a loaded gun in the bedroom with kids running around. At some point, somebody's going to pull the trigger. And that's what this law is. And there's so many other laws in South Africa that are anti-white, race-based, and make it almost impossible for businesses to thrive. But worst of all, we're at less than 1% economic growth, less than 1%. And we have the highest unemployment in the world.
That's not sustainable.
40%. It's unsustainable. And the only way to reverse that is to have, you know, a complete change of plan. You know, we need a Malay. We need to have a Malay or a Trump.
So when Trump put out that post on Truth Social about a week ago, basically saying that, you know, in essence, that it was basically, I don't want to paraphrase it, but something to the effect of white people are being treated unfairly. I mean, that was basically the thrust of it. What do you want him to do? Okay, so it's on the map now. So what do you want to come of it?
He needs to, and I'm very grateful he's focused on us, and I want to thank all the Americans for this. He needs to force the ANC government to reverse these racial laws. Do you know that most African countries have Starlink? Elon Musk Starlink. We don't, because we have a law that every business in South Africa has to have 30% black ownership. And Elon Musk.
And again, people should know about it, whether they agree with it or not. I think brutal honesty is needed. And I'm going to play one more song, and then I think I will call this show a day. Let me see what I want to play. I would play the the ballad of Dix Handley, which Myrnals really liked.
That is
But-
my absolute favorite. I love when you play the song about Dick Handley and him handling his
Not
wiener.
Dick, it's Dix Handley. I'm going to play.
Yeah, Dick's handling, and he's handling all the wieners.
Boo! All right, I'm going to
Wieners.
play "Touching the Divine," and hopefully,
Wieners.
yeah, Dix Handley. This is not a Dix Handley song. This is "Touching the Divine."
In the quiet night, where the stars align, we search our minds for a sign. In the still of dawn, when the shadows are gone, we feel that bond we're drawn.
Dix Handley.
Wieners.
In our conscience we find the light of humankind. In a world so fast, looking through the glass, moments that pass so fast. If we lose that thread, we lose what's ahead. In our souls it's set, the light is never dead. Touching the divine, through our hearts we shine. In our conscience we find the light of humankind. In a world so vast, looking through the glass, moments that pass so fast, the light is never dead. If we lose that thread, we lose what's ahead. In our souls it's set, the light is never dead.
I love it so much. Who's that guy?
I think Myrnals was on that last part. So
Wieners.
meow meow.
Me.
Myrnals.
All
Now-
right.
South Africa, by the way, from my understanding, is the AIDS capital of the world.
Hmm.
And
Of course it is.
Of course.
yeah, because we have a word that we cannot say on YouTube.
That's true.
Grape.
Grape.
That's
Well,
one of them.
it rhymes
What?
with grape.
You can't say grape?
Yeah.
You can't. Well, if you remove
Yeah.
the G, you cannot say it.
Yeah.
What is that? What does that spell?
And basically, what this is progressive leftism has taken over the West, our Western cultural values.
Mhm.
And I believe what we need are people who are steadfast in their resolve and are firm, who strive for firmness in their stance, not with anger but again, with a resolve not to tolerate or take abuse, because many of these people are extraordinarily abusive, and they look for you to respond to them. And the best thing to do is not to respond, to be an observer and not get caught up in their mess. I'm going to play one more. I'm going to play another song, and then I think I'll call it a show. Or do you think I should continue going longer?
Well, I
Dan?
did happen to hear a publicly addressed speech today at a convention I was at, and some of the words were a little. They kind of match what you're saying, but from a different perspective, of course. And but they were also reminding everyone to be an observer rather than to react, which I found to be the only good advice that was coming out of that speaker's mouth.
Let me ask you a question. No. I want to hold on a second, Mirnals. I want to ask a question. If somebody like me had been in the room and I had asked certain questions about a vendetta mindset or a resentment mindset, would punishment be in play? If this person could punish me, would they punish me? Would they seek punitive action against me?
Whew, it seemed pretty scripted, and even though she was fielding some questions, she wasn't taking any kind of hardball questions. So
If
I
would
don't
have,
know, the reaction would not have been met favorably.
yes, but again, and one of the reasons why people do not come with questions is these people are very punitive, and they seek primarily to harm you economically, if not physically. And again, these people downplay the abuse the same way they would downplay someone who was abused spousal, was spousally abused, and they would say, well, it's not that bad, or they'll belittle the things that are happening. And that's what we're living with today. We're living with abuse, and I don't know if the abuse is as bad as the belittling. The belittling of the abuse seems to be just as worse because these people are in control and in power, and they are championing abusive, egocentric, some of them dope fiended minded people. And it's really kind of sad that we have people championing buffoons and jackasses. I'm going to play one. I'm going to play another song. I think I might continue this because I'm kind of enjoying it. This song is Spartacus. It was inspired by the movie Spartacus. And this with the scene of this is your son Spartacus, and he's free. So let me play this, and then we'll continue the show.
The sun sets across the battlefield. A mother's cry, the pain revealed. Spartacus hangs strong, no defeat. In her heart, his legacies beat. Spartacus, this is your son. He's free as the day begun. Our child will speak your name so clear, and I'll whisper to his ear. Shackles fall and dreams take flight. In the dark you found your light.
What just happened? Is someone like putting
don't know.
Turn off your mute. You can hear this. Are you guys turning off your mute?
No.
Oh. Well, I'm going to play another song. Guys, do not turn off your mute unless you want to cut the. If you want to cut the song off, that's fine. But press to cut the song off. So I'm going to play. Let me see here.
Okay.
Should I play algorithm melody? Let's just do this. Wait, all right, we'll play it.
Wakes up, picks up a phone. Hey, we noticed you're feeling alone. A meal just for one. Put the Netflix says sad rom-coms are fun. Got her hands for a blanket, a cat, and someone. By the way, someone hushed you online. The algorithm sings, the algorithm sees. Knows your next move like a fortune cookie. Your fate's been charted, your habits are sold. Even your dreams are pre-approved in gold. Hey, we noticed your birthday is near. We pre-ordered a casket, just in case this year. Your car's gonna break down, we know it's true. Book a mechanic before you do. In 2034 you'll have a son. He's already enrolled in the preschool we run. His first words will be subscribe and save and where's my latte? Auto-drafted his debt straight down to hell. We scanned your heartbeat, your thoughts and your vibe. Adjusted your ability to buy. Did those purchase a jet ski and beans? Your shopping cart knows more than your dreams. Now the algorithm sings, the algorithm sees. Knows your next move like a fortune cookie. Your fate's been charted, your habits are sold. Even your dreams are pre-approved in gold. Shh, don't think too hard, we're all in it for you. We know what you want, thought before you do. Hey, we noticed you're feeling alone. A meal just for one. Hard to Netflix says sad rom-coms are fun. Even your dreams are pre-approved. Oh, 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 we did it for you. Oh, 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 oh. We scanned your heartbeat, your thoughts and your vibe. Adjusted your ability to buy. Impulse purchase, a jet ski and beans. Your shopping cart knows more than your dreams. The algorithm sings, the algorithm sees. Knows your next move like a fortune cookie. Your fate's been charted, your habits are sold. Even your fears are pre-approved in gold. We scanned your heartbeat, your thoughts and your vibe. Adjusted your ability to buy. Impulse purchase, a jet ski and beans. Your shopping cart knows more than your dreams. Just don't think too hard. We already did it for you. We're keeping it for you.
All right. So,
all right. What did you think of that? Because that was one that I wrote, and I didn't know what you thought of that.
That was good. That was good.
What did you think of the Spartacus song, Myrnals?
I like that too.
Oh, thank you kindly.
Y'all need to check out the one that I made. It's called I Like to Mirn.
Well, we have to. The thing is, you have to go through I have to put them in my my media assets pile, and I have to download it. So it is a process.
I'll send it. I'll send it to you, and you can just play it next show.
Thank you kindly.
You're welcome.
But we have, again, I want to mention that we have a much more emotional legacy media and a Hollywood that used to align with the elites. However, today, I mean, that used to align with the public, not with the elites. Today, they align with the elites, but they used to align with the public interest. However, today they do not. And I'm just looking at a new song here. And should I play it? Because I want to take some water. My mouth is very dry. I used to say
Well, I just uploaded it's an image. It's not a song.
Oh, that is
I
an
will-
awesome image. I really like it.
Yes.
But,
That is cool.
I'm going to play a song though. Oh, I like that. Wait, well,
Can you play the Dick Handley song?
I'll play it. You know what? I'll play that
Yes.
one. That'll be the last song that I
Dick
play.
Handley.
You actually now,
He,
Myrnals.
he
I
was
doubt.
playing with two dicks, and it was like he was skiing.
Yeah. By the way, both you and Joe have not seen the movie The Asphalt Jungle. It is a 1950s classic.
I have seen that.
Oh, you have? Okay. Well, then
kind of recently. Yeah, a couple months ago. I liked it.
So I'm going to play a song called "Stop Crying on Television," and then we'll continue. I don't know how long we're going to go for, but I want people to control their anger, and anger is something to be managed. It comes through your system anytime you see something wrong. But like a good prize fighter, you should be used to punches coming at you. And in this life, there are
like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
There we go.
Shit.
All right, let me play the song.
Oh no, the tears are falling. Cue the zoom and cue the lights. Oh, that's bright. One rehearsed apology, time to monetize. Your pain's a brand, your grief's a show. You cry into the camera, throw money. Is this real? No. Is this pain? No. See, or is this a Netflix deal in the making? Turn the volume up, it's primetime regret. Another life meltdown, place your bets. Stop crying on television and the other. Watch we see through your tears and your empty cry. Yeah, every soap story comes with a check. And we ain't buying your pain. Not yet. Oh, look, the influencer's weeping again. I swear I'm so broken, like, comment, send. Eat your suffering, sell it as proof. A clown with a tissue in a soundproof booth.
These tears are heavily edited. Do you want to skip this trauma? Pay for premium.
Stop crying on television and the other. What we see through your tutors and your empty cry. Or every soap story comes with a check. And we ain't buying your pain. Not yet.
This has been another episode of Manufactured Misery. Tune in next breakdown.
Earrings. Earrings. So I wrote a little bit of this. This is dealing with Zelensky. So Zelensky struts into the White House, and Trump hands him. What am I doing? What is this? I don't want to play this. All right. So Zelensky struts into the White House, and Trump hands him a verbal shiv straight into the gut. Ukraine's golden kid Now the progressives left's project, all those authoritarian do-gooders clutching their pearls. After the lockdowns, the BLM Antifa street parties that turned into fistfights and firebombs, the right got wise, or at least squinting sideways at it all. We're done swallowing your PDS BS, those yapping heads screaming orange man bad, like a broken down jukebox. The progressive left and the rhino lapdogs, they kick the regular folks around like empty cans in the gutter. Call us trash. Fine, but the trash has knuckles now, cracked and callous, and it's writing the rules. You came swinging with your iron fist, still do, pounding away like it's your own joint. Thing is, we patched up our glass jaw, took the hits. Now we've got an iron fist too. One hammered into shape. You dumb bastards are going to feel the iron fist too. Any response? Buenos nachos?
Mirn, and do you have a response?
Mirny.
That was my response.
Now, by the way, all of our
That's my
chat
response to most things. Be honest, though.
Not bad.
But by the way, all of our chat people have left.
There still seems to be a few listeners. If you're here, thank you for listening to this. I really would like to get some perspectives, though. I'd like to know what people are thinking, if they agree, if they disagree, where are they at with what's being transmitted. Beep, beep, beep.
Yeah. Well, again, we are seeing abuse, and we're seeing, like I said, people downplaying behavior. Again, the same way that they would downplay the behavior of an abusive spouse. And, I do want to mention in 2011, there's a gentleman by the name of Tim Wise. Now, Tim Wise is a critical race theorist. Yes, that's a thing. And he is an anti-racist progressive. And he's about my age, born in 1968. And he was a champion of the anti-apartheid movement in South Africa, because at the time, during the South African regime, America and other Western countries. God, what is going on? Did you have something to add? Because I'm hearing someone clear their throat or something.
I'm sorry. I hit the pipe too hard. I want to go on mute for a second.
All right. What kind of pipe are you hitting? For God's sake, go to rehab. I've been telling people this about it.
I'm just smoking a little bit of weed. It's not even.
All right. Jeez Louise.
I've been a good man.
All right. Jesus Christ. Good God. What kind of people are we getting here? All right. But I want to mention this Tim Wise buffoon. Basically, before 2016, he used to debate people and, all kinds of individuals. And now he stays in his little bubble. But in 2011, I talked to him about the white South African farmers. And he said it was a terrible thing, but it's not as bad as apartheid. Again, downplaying the abuse and deflecting, because, again, he's a knee-jerk progressive. But even then, he kind of realized now the progressive left has gone off the rails, and they have gone power Hungary, where they shut down any discussion. And this is, Trump, post-Trump, and also post-Floyd and pandemic. This is when they really went for the juggernaut. And these people, I hope these people are held to account, because their behavior has been really vile and disgusting. Their hypocrisy is awful. And in my opinion, these people are major abusers, and they seek to punish those who call out the abuse. Anything to say? Well, I go us into a song here, Joey.
Say about what? You've said every word ever created just now.
Do you agree with what I said? Right. Good God. Do you agree with what I've said, or do you have any pushback?
Well, I think it's the second or third time it's been said tonight. That's what I'm curious about. I get it. Let's go.
I am a broken record sometimes.
Yes, you are.
You have to be a broken record.
I am scratching the record right off the damn machine.
By the way, this song is called Rosebud. It's from the movie. It's inspired by the movie Citizen Kane.
One of the greatest movies of all time. Yes. It says many truths about our world, even today.
I think you are, by the way, you are okay. You're in. Listen, Kitty, you're going to get spayed. Enough, please. Let me finish.
What did I do?
Yeah. Well, listen. You meowed when I was barking, and that you meared.
I didn't mean to meow.
Well, you did, and you're lucky. You're lucky there was no wet newspaper around. But here we go. I'm going to play. This song is inspired by the movie Citizen Kane, which, by the way, I don't think is the greatest movie of all time.
Was it a good movie, though? Was it good?
I enjoyed it when I first saw it because it was a mystery. But after the mystery is done, it doesn't keep my interest. And it's, well shot and stuff, but people get overindulged on stuff. When I was a kid, I saw a Star Wars about 100 times. Anyway, let's do this.
Charles Foster Kane, he was a name. Richest man, but oh so lame. From poor to gold, wealth untold, heart of stone, sled of pain. Taken young, parents gone, wealthy life, but all alone. Rosebud sled, his only friend, symbol of pain till the end. Rosebud, Rosebud, call his name, echoes through the halls of fame. Rich in gold, a poor in soul, empty heart takes its toll. Palaces and diamond rings couldn't fill the void it brings. Love he sought but never gained, left with wealth but heart remains. Palaces and diamond rings couldn't fill the void it brings. Love he sought but never gained, left with wealth but heart remains. Snow it falls on distant paths, memories that fade so fast. Rosebud whispers through the years, brings a flood of silent tears. moves, but they're in final grasp. Not the man, but what he lost. Hard as snow and heavy cost. Hard as snow and heavy cost.
Well, all right. Here we go. The country of freedom of speech and the information superhighway. I don't think we can call it that anymore because of groups like the ADL who have taken away our wonderful freedom of expression on the internet because they think that this technology is too dangerous to be held into the hands of normal people. It must be held into the hands of a selected elite. I guess you could call it a professional class that we must listen to and obey. And anything they can define anything, whether it is medication that goes into your body, what to do if a pandemic hits us, and what people or who people are allowed to abuse and how people are allowed to behave or react. And this is done in corporate boardrooms where you or I are not invited. I think I'm going to play us out with Dick's Hanley, which will make Kitty Meir knows it's like. Yeah. Joey, do you have anything to add before I play us out? We almost went 2 hours. Unless you want us to go longer.
Yes, it's gone an hour 42, and a lot of good points there. I don't know if some of it needs to be repeated, but maybe the message is not seeping in some areas, or people. I mean, I feel, I guess I understand that, you know, you're saying these things and you want a reaction, you want people to react, and I do too. I want to hear what people say. So hopefully that conversation will expand. Kitty Mearn, do you have any thoughts on this?
Yeah. Right.
On anything that I've said.
Wait, what were we talking about again?
Just kind of musing on Brian's thoughts, and I'm just nothing specifically, just in general. I mean, you're throwing a lot out there, and you know, I'm just wondering, do you get responses on Twitter, or are you still getting reaction?
Occasionally.
I'm kicked off again. I got to set up a new one.
Why did you get
set a new one up
What did you do?
It's a long story.
Probably something naughty.
No, it wasn't nothing like that.
I am looking for the ballad of Dick's Handley. Let's see here. We have Stoic Heart.
Dick's Hanley.
Neocopa, the Ballad of Stabby. You know what? I think I'm gonna play the Ballad of Stabby McHugs. I haven't played that in a while. Stabby McHugs.
We got a Dick Hanley song.
I will do a Dick Hanley song, but I'm going to. I think I'm going to extend the show, and I'm going to do a Stabby McHugs. Stabby McHugs passed away this year.
Sad.
It is sad, and he was one of
cancer, I believe.
I think he was the greatest troll. He had kidney problems. I think he was one of our great trolls of BTR, which, by the way, Joey and I had the #1 BTR show in the land.
in the land for a little while. Yeah, we held it down, and we hit it not just once. We hit it, we lost it, we went back and hit it again. But yeah,
We
good
smacked the
times.
fuck out of it.
There we go.
Smacked
Wow.
the fuck out.
He was the legend of the web we know. Stabby mugs put on a show, trolling hard where the voices flow. Blog talk radio set to go. Dobby Daily gave him fame for free, talked about him endlessly. Mr. Midnight Movie took the cue, put Stabby on and views just grew. Stabby, more hugs, what say you? Stirring trouble out of blue, laughing loud till the morning dew. Trolled the best and all they knew. Threads ablaze with his clever mirth, proof that trolls were more than worth. Never saw his face but read his prose. Heart of fire beneath the screen's glow. In each comment left a spark, turning midnight into dark. Entertained with playful quirk, left his mark with every smirk. Stabby Maha's, what say you? Stirring trouble out of blue, laughing loud till the morning dew. Troll the best and all they knew. In each comment left a spark, turning midnight into dark. Entertained with playful quirk, left his mark with every smirk. Stabby lugs, what say you? Stirring trouble out of blue, laughing loud till the morning dew. Trolled the best and all they knew.
Good, huh?
Transparency in the internet.
There we go. So those were the days of where it was the Wild West when Stabby was on. When Joe and I started at Blog Talk Radio, I wish we'd have started a YouTube channel earlier and did this kind of thing, but we didn't. But we were on Blog Talk Radio, and then we were on Spreaker. And there were more innocent days back then. I mean, it got foul. I mean, there were some foul people, but you could basically say what you wanted. And today with cancel culture, they call it consequence culture. But only one group gets to make the consequences, and consequences, the rules of these consequences go in one direction, and it is against the spirit of due process, because you're not on, you don't get to, before punitive action takes place, there is no trial. You're kind of punished in silence. That's the beauty of it. And Stefan Molyneux said that cancel culture is just a dress rehearsal for mass murder. And I think Paul Pot would really like our modern day cancel culture just before the killing fields take place. And people might say that I'm being dramatic, but I believe that that's how these people are. They are very punitive. And I've talked to some of these anti-racist leftists, and once they've accused someone of being a racist, they don't want them on trial, particularly females, white females. Don't want these people on trial. They want punishment immediately. I'd like to punish them. There's one in particular who caused a gentleman to delete himself in Nebraska. I'll get into that later, but she is a foul, nasty human being, and those that were supporting her actions at the time of the 2020 Floyd protests and riots. There's a lot of foul, nasty behavior that happened at that time, and I think that we need to re-examine it. I would like almost, and I don't know if it is possible, but for Congress to hold hearings on the riots and who basically helped foment the riot and how it was portrayed with our mainstream media. And now I'm still looking for the ballad of Dick Handley, or no, it's Dick's Handley.
Yeah, Dick's Hanley.
Stop it!
You weren't just handling one dick. It was more.
Moo Moo. I'm looking here. There's a peekaboo dance. The Ballad of Ibar, My Little Puppy Boo. Please don't play that. Please don't play that. You can't say those kinds of things. And I don't want to, I like being on YouTube. Please don't play that. Please don't play that. Please don't play that.
It's just the MASH theme song.
But you cannot say deleting. You cannot talk about deleting yourself on YouTube. It is against their terms of service.
Yeah, that's right. You can't even play the fucking MASH theme song anymore.
Boo-hoo.
It's bullshit.
I'm going to play Dick's Handley. This may be where I play us out, but he loves this song, and yeah.
This is your best song by far.
You really think so?
I really think so, actually, yes.
It is. It is. It is wonderful.
Okay.
It is number.
In a dusty old town where the sun don't set, lived a man named Dix, full of dreams unmet, with a heart full of hustle and a past so wild. He played his cards close like a lonesome child, a hand always gripping, never one to fold. Dix Handley sought fortune more precious than gold in the asphalt jungle where shadows did creep. He planned his one score before he'd find sleep. Oh, Dix knew the stakes, danced with danger's thrill, with a dream in his heart and ironclad will. Just one more heist, then he'd be free. In the heart of the city where he aimed to be. He gathered his crew in a smoky back room with eyes on a prize that would seal his doom. A plan so tight, not a detail amiss, but the jungle's claws gripped through the mist. The night fell hard and the city stood still. Dix moved in the shadows, chasing the thrill. A bag full of riches, so close in his hand, but freedom slips away like grains of sand. Oh, Dix knew the stakes, danced with danger's thrill, with a dream in his heart and ironclad will. Just one more heist, then he'd be free in the heart of the city where he aimed to be.
Now, you guys really believe that that is... Now, are you just saying that, Joey, that's your favorite song?
No, I'm serious. That one, that's the most catchy, and it's a good story. And as a bonus, it makes me laugh.
Well,
Yeah.
well,
It does.
now, do you just like the song Dix Hanley, or just the name? No.
I love it. It's great. I bet he gives good hand jobs.
Goo goo goo. Moo moo moo.
I wasn't expecting that.
This song is called Me, and I think I'm going to play it regarding selfishness. Or should I play Love Me? Yeah, I'm going to play Love Me.
There you go.
Loving yourself. There we go. This is about the selfishness of our society right now.
Something.
Froggy gremlin singing loud, I love me proud, dancing solo in the crowd, feeling like I'm on a cloud. Mirror, mirror, looking fine, got my style, my own design, holding hands with thoughts of mine, all alone but I don't mind. I go to the movies just to hold my hand, living in a dream world, a place where I can stand. I go to the movies, a solo one-man band, living in my own world, life is simply grand. Walking down the avenue, singing songs that make me new. Got no worries, got no blues, life's the stage where I debut. Loving me is what I do, happiness in every hue. Every day a rendezvous with myself while times are true. I go to the movies just to hold my hand, living in a dream world, a place where I can stand. I go to the movies, a solo one-man band, living in my own world, life is simply grand. I go to the movies just to hold my hand, living in a dream world, a place where I can stand. I go to the movies, a solo one-man band, living in my own world, life is simply grand. Simply grand. Life is simply grand. Life is simply grand. Life is simply grand.
Mirn.
Sometimes it's better to be alone and be by yourself. I think that song represents Myrnals. Myrnals, what did you think of the song? Did you hate it? Did you want to go back into the kitty cage, or did you just want to go out?
How did it represent me?
I don't know.
Did
Do you think you're
I do
selfish?
something wrong?
Myrnals, do you think you're selfish?
No, I'm not selfish.
Okay.
You think I'm selfish?
You know what? I don't know you well enough to decipher whether you're selfish or not. You know,
JP, am I selfish?
you can be a little bit self-obsessed. Would you admit that you can be a little bit self-obsessed?
No, but I am dangerously kittyful.
Okay. I think I'm going to play another song. This one's called Me.
Yes.
Day I met Del, I only noticed the smell. When I asked him his status, he said he barely writes because. And before he could finish, I already knew the bulls hit steam rolling towards my flat feet. And once it starts, it generally keeps on going, and it will dull his thoughts. Hopefully not, but yeah, allowing it to formulate. By then he was Dirty Del, and don't believe every rumor that you hear, but everything you heard about Dirty Del is probably truth. Well, I lied to join for a BBQ, some cheap beer, and his plan to win it all. I remember the darker days. I'm rooting for him to come to the surface. Willie Coop, Willie Man, the BBQ for the evening mess. You're a good pal, but you are a goddamn fraud. The day I met Del, I only noticed the smell. When I asked him his status, he said he barely writes because. And before he could finish, I already knew the bulls hit steam rolling towards my flat feet. And once it starts, it generally keeps on going, and it will dull his thoughts. Hopefully not, but yeah, allowing it to formulate. By then he was Dirty Del, and don't believe every rumor that you hear, but everything you heard about Dirty Del is probably truth.
I don't know if I want to another song, but I have a few things on Twitter that I'm taking a look at right now as we experiment on this long, vast thing called the internet. Sometimes, again, I will repeat myself, as Joey has said. I will repeat myself, and again, I'm reminded of movie characters. Jonathan Greenblatt does remind me a little bit of Colonel Nichols from Bridge on the River Kwai. In the movie, he is reluctant to build the bridge because Geneva Conventions aren't being followed, and he gets punished. But in the end, Colonel Saito reneges. I mean, basically loses to Colonel Nichols, and he helps build the bridge. And he is so proud of that bridge that when his when Allied British and American, when a group of Allied Americans, along with a Canadian, try to blow it up, he tries to protect the bridge. And that is Jonathan Greenblatt. He has built a bridge of far leftist, unhinged lunatics that are now attacking Zionists. And regardless of how you feel about Zionists, people with Israeli flags should not be attacked physically. But these people were attacking people who had Trump signs or Trump hats. And if you said something that they disagree with, they would attack you physically. And the ADL basically emboldened these unhinged lunatics. And with that being said, I think I do want to play. Let's see here. Moo. Where is my? Oh, the Battle of Judge Holden. Good heavens!
What is he holding?
It's hard to find my songs. I have so many of them now. I have so many.
Well, good song. Good song is hard to find.
Maybe this. Okay, this song is because sometimes I have the color of the
Sing me a song. You're a singer. Pass me the ball. You're bring your reasons.
Turn that off, please, for God's sake. I mean, if you want audio, it's got to go through the right channels. And again, this song is inspired by the movie Bridge Across the River Kwai. I'm doing this because I believe that Jonathan Greenblatt is a lot like Colonel Nichols. He's emboldened the far leftist activists that are now attacking Zionists and people who are pro-Israel and I guess other Jewish groups. But of course, they're being punished. The groups that were attacking Trump supporters and what others considered far right, the ADL was fine with. But you can't, if you attack Zionists, then you're in trouble. The hypocrisy, I guess, never ends.
Colonel Saito in the jungle's heat. He needs that bridge over the river's beat. Colonel Nicholson with a steely mind. Geneva Convention must be signed.
Saito demands and Nicholson fights. Honor twisting in the jungle night. For in this war of men and steel, there's a battle of spirit that's all too real.
Call on the river to carry the train. Sweat and tears and blood's disdain. No shame or honor in the silent air. Echoes of conflict linger there.
Colonel Saito's rule ironclad. Colonel Nicholson won't be had. In this clash of wills they stand alone. Walls of pride are overthrown. Workers toil under the sun's fierce gaze. Colonel Nicholson's eyes a stubborn blaze. Colonel Saito shadows every step. In this game of pride they firmly wept.
Time will tell the tale of these two. A bridge built from sweat and truth. Honor's victory or sheer disgrace, reflected in every workman's face.
I'm false.
Joey, why do you do that? It ruins the sound.
No,
I wanted to hear more about Colonel Jack Nicholson.
I was listening to that actually. It was a good one.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. I want to
Yeah.
hear more about Jack Nicholson.
Yeah, and
He
his
was a
beady
good
eyes.
joker.
No, good
Yeah.
heavens. Yeah.
No, that was actually really good. So it looks like you're getting them a little bit better structured. So,
Well, I thank you
nice.
for that. But
Yes.
I
see
was
the
learning about Colonel Jack Nicholson.
shut up, you moron. I'm going to pop your pimples.
Mm,
Yeah, have you ever had
I don't have pimples.
Myrnos, do you ever have awful pimples on your anus?
No, I don't.
That's I
Do
think you're a
you?
liar. No, not anymore. Not since I met Howard. He's popped all the pimples inside my anal cavity. Let me kind of add here. I know that we are facing, or at least I've talked about facing perhaps what they call the censorship industrial complex, and censorship is nothing new. We used to talk about the movies, and the movies in the 1930s. There began to be a code. First, there was the Hays Code, and then there was the Legion of Decency. And the ADL, in my opinion, is the modern day Legion of Decency for the internet. And instead of offending God, it's offending Zionists and other protected classes. Now they've backed off on that. I don't know why. I think that Elon and I think that they've become aware of their hypocrisy, and now they're kind of hiding away with embarrassment. I hope to embarrass them further. Maybe someone can do a documentary on that group and their inner workings of their behavior. Go ahead.
I agree. I've been calling him out since day one. He says like free speech and all this shit. There is no free speech on that platform.
No. Well,
it's freer than it was, but it's slightly more lenient than Facebook.
Yeah. Well, they have influenced and I don't know, I don't know if they were the major influence with regards to censorship. I believe during the McCarthy hearings, they came up with the term McCarthyism, and I don't know how many Marxists they because they aligned themselves, I think, with the Marxists at one time, or at least with some Marxists. And again, the Marxists, the communists in America, stopped calling themselves communists and started calling themselves progressives, and they did infiltrate a lot of institutions, and their ideas switched from class and economics to racial issues. And this is a thing of suicidal empathy. And you can't say the word suicidal anymore because it's restricted, but it is a form of, it's really abusive empathy, because when protected classes abuse, they are then also seen as the victims, not the abusers. And I think I'm going to play another song because I want to get a drink of water. Anything to add, Joey? We'll start down the list. Joey, do you have anything to add before I play a song?
2.5 hours ago, I probably would have, but let's go. I'm waiting.
It is only 2 hours and 15 minutes. The movie,
Yeah.
this is
2
not
hours and 15 minutes.
Yes, this might not be this might not be Batman. It may be Lawrence of Arabia.
Who was
This
your favorite Batman?
my favorite movie?
No, your favorite Batman.
I would say my favorite one was I didn't see The Dark Knight, but I really enjoyed The Dark Knight Rises. Joey, do you have a favorite Batman?
You mean Christian Bale? My
Yeah.
favorite Batman.
Yeah.
My favorite Batman was Michael Keaton. He was the best Batman in my opinion. But
Well,
also, this is a
pretty great.
very. This is probably going to sound odd to you, but Batman Returns is my favorite Christmas movie, and people laugh when I say that. But yes, it is a Christmas movie. If you sit down there with a bottle of liquor and you watch a movie and you take a shot every time they say Merry Christmas, you probably won't get through the whole movie.
very well. All right, guys, I'm going to play us another song. It's the Ballad of Joe Buck. This is one of my favorite films, and it was a 1969 Oscar winner. I think it was the first and only X-rated film to win. I don't think it would be considered X-rated today, but this is the Ballad of Joe Buck, the main character in the movie Midnight Cowboy.
A groovy movie.
Joe Buck left Texas chasing city lights. New York dreams turned darker nights. Hustler's hope became the plight. In the alley shadows lost his fight. Ratso said he'd show the ropes, but he was just another false hope. Two became friends in grander slope. Life's harsh lessons, no chance to cope. Oh, the midnight cowboy walks alone in a city cold as stone. Say a prayer for hearts that roam far from where they call home. In the hustle, Ratso couldn't stay, left behind in life's cruel fray. Joe Buck's tears just washed away. City lights turned shades of gray. Empty pockets, dreams on hold. Chased promises turned to fool's gold. In the harsh wind, nights grow cold. Stories of Joe Buck remains told. Oh, the midnight cowboy walks alone in a city cold as stone. Say a prayer for hearts that roam far from where they call home. Ratso couldn't stay, left behind in life's cruel fray. Joe Buck's tears just washed away. City lights turned shades of gray.
You know, speaking of songs, you remember Sylvester Gasson, the dude? He was like this Asian dude that was tone deaf, and he sang really badly, and he would sing karaoke. Well, he just posted another terrible song.
Awesome. Oh, I remember that guy. Yeah, we can't. I don't want to. The thing is, Okay, so when I'm talking, there's a reason why I'm saying this now. If you play any music that is unauthorized, we could get hit. So I just
Oh,
yeah.
I wasn't saying that. I just wanted to bring back some. Sorry,
I
I
apologize.
just wanted to
I didn't
bring
want
back
to cut
some
you
old
off. The reason
memes and.
this is for protection of my YouTube channel. So
I feel you on that.
nope.
But
Okay.
yeah, I
If
figured
you
that I figured that would bring up a funny story or something. That was actually my intentions. Was
yes.
and I figured we might have a funny story out of that because he was a goofy guy.
Yes. And Joe, you are laughing.
See, JP knows it's funny. Remember him tone deafly singing Zombie? Oh my God. That shit was so funny.
Yes. All right.
So I'm going to play one more song. I'm looking for something. I'm going to play another song, and then we'll get back to. Let me see what I want to play here. The Ballad of Jake Giddies. So buckle up, folks.
The Ballad of Jake Giggity?